How do couples with kids both work full-time? With all the external commitments? Even with daycare school the hours don't align with full-time work. How is it manageable to both be working full-time? How common is it? With great difficulty and a lot of stress. The external commitments are what give first. You just see much less of friends and family, do less of your hobbies, watch less TV, etc. Your weekends become almost entirely chores and life administration. I used to do it. The only way is with flexible working, 2 well-paying jobs and patience. Doesn't leave much time for yourself, but you do it because you want to give the child its best life. Can't imagine couples in their 40s with a young child. I'd be knackered. I heard a barrister answer the question, how do you work full-time as a barrister and be a mum? I just do a terrible job of both, was the answer. You get up, get RDY, wake up the little one, get them ready, stuff their faces with food, attempt to clean, pack them in the car and race off like a mad person. Then do in reverse in the and throw in some other chores. Helps if you work flexibly. Childcare, before school care, after school care when they are young. WFH flexibility is a must for me. Both my kids catch the bus now, which makes life much easier. It's an absolute shit show. Hanging on until next year when they are in primary school full time. Could probably buy a Porsche every year with some change on the daycare savings alone. I work part-time for this reason. But I'm constantly gutted about having no career anymore. My partner can't really go part-time in his industry, so he is full-time. So I've given up on a decent career for a dead-end, part-time job. Otherwise we'd be paying huge amounts for childcare. Just for a second imagine being one of the 1 million single-parent households there's no wriggle room. How common is it? Overall, it's roughly a third of couples with kids in Australia will have both parents working full-time. If a kid is preschool age, it's lower and roughly 1 in 4 to 1 in 5. And it differs round the country, particularly common in Sydney. Single dad here, grandparents help me before and after school if it wasn't for them, not sure what I would be able to do it. You know how parents always look exhausted, stressed when they roll into the office at 9:30? That's how. Not without massive sacrifice. So those who should work are punished if they have kids, and those who should have kids are punished by working. It is a real problem in an aging society that we have no solutions to. I mean, I have solutions but none that will get voted in. Make childcare free while both parents are at work and allow alignment of work hours with school for at least one parent. Fund it by taxing inheritance and trust assets. It's an absolute shit show for sure. Hanging on by a thread. But, at the moment my partner only needs to go into work 2 days, and I am in a prehistoric company that requires me to be in at work 3 days a week so I can sit in at my desk on Teams calls. So it works out well. Looking forward to next year when both kids are in primary so it makes it easier. And, then just use after-school care. It sucks. I hate that capitalism basically dictates it as a requirement to afford life now. Caring for and raising children is a very important major role which society doesn't value enough, and it makes me sad. Actively working to take a step back in my career so I can be more present for my son. What's the point to all of it then? 2 shift workers here, we do it by alternating shifts. I only work mornings, 6 a.m. 2 p.m. My husband only works afternoons 1 p.m. 8 p.m. Yes, we literally never see each other. Luckily our kid is 12 now, makes it a little easier if there's an hour or so unsupervised during school holidays. Other families I know do WFH, or have family available to help. Very hard. Wait until they have a school parade and award for everything. You have 3 kids and they expect you to see it all. We have 12, 10, and 4-year-old. All we do every day is drive the kids places in between work and chores. That's it. Nothing else happens. With family help, which is more common than people realize, especially in certain cultures. It's an under-discussed part of the whole property market is FKED discourse. Big difference in being able to live in the same city, and a 10-minute drive away vs an hour drive to grandparents, aunties, uncles in terms of day-to-day help. Judging by the birth rate, not at all easily. As a full-time single parent, and working full-time. Plus I don't have living parents to help care. I don't have much of the kind of life I had prior to being a parent. It's a bit exhausting and relentless, but I tell myself it won't be forever and keep on going. We both work full-time hours and have 3 kids, one in a combination of childcare and 3 years old kinda. We are both shift workers, midwife and firefighter. This enables at least one of us to be home for school pickup drop-off. However, we are often high-fiving on the front porch. The coming years it will get easier with one in high school and being able to help with the walk to and from school. We will also be able to organize our shifts to fall on the same days so we get more time off together. It's not catered to families at all. School holidays are 12 weeks but Fort staff only get 4 weeks each. Absolute BS and helps cause women's pay disparities. We went to one of us working 3 days. We aren't loaded, but it saved on childcare and made life more livable. We don't have family around, so that was simpler than anything else. This why our both are in high school, so things get a bit easier. Still one of us works part-time as it's a quality of life thing. I work 3 days FTE, but in reality it's probably closer to 4 or even 4.5 if the kids are sick, and I have to collect them from school and then look after them. I am extremely lucky that I can work remotely, so whatever I can't get done during the day gets done either at night or on weekends. It's a hard slog if you don't have family who can help you. We both dropped back to 4-day weeks so we could each spend a weekday with the kids. It's been a brutal pay cut, but it takes the pressure off the weekends so we can try to give each other opportunities to recharge, housekeep and run errands. At best, we're coping. It should get easier once our youngest is school age. Also need to consider the FIFO-type families, where one partner works away and the remaining partner does the solo parenting work juggle. That's hard. I feel like the first working mother ever. There are not any supports if you don't have family close by. If both parents are skilled and have good earning potential, it's possible with childcare. A government subsidy is available if family income is under $530,000. Working from home, flexible working arrangements. Help from family members, i.e. retired grandparents. Sometimes the cost of childcare eats up one spouse's salary, so if that's the case, it might make more sense for the lower-earning spouse to drop to part-time. Daycare when they are 1-5, before and after school care during primary school. Well, we only have one kid. That's probably why it's easier. I have passed over some very interesting and cool jobs in order to have the one that I do. It lets me WFH for days out of 5, and the hours are very flexible. There's almost nothing I can't shift one direction or another. My partner teaches, so while his work is less flexible, his colleagues are highly understanding and they all band together to cover for the various employee children that are sick, have sport, whatever. WFH wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. Before school care, after school care, vacation care. Losing most of a salary to child care costs. Almost running out of money at times, almost divorcing even more times. Now the kids are in primary, it has become easier. My wife changed careers and became a teacher just to make life easier and spend more time with the kids. We do this both well-paid corporate jobs where it doesn't make sense for one partner to not be working financially. However, we benefit from having grandparents who take my daughter 1 day a week plus look after her when sick. Last week I had urgent meetings, deadlines, and my husband was traveling interstate and my daughter was sent home from childcare sick. Grandparents picked her up, looked after her the rest of the week and stayed over one night to help out so I could work. Have one parent be a teacher. One brings the kids to daycare school and comes to the office late and leaves late. The other comes to office early and leaves early to pick up the kids at school daycare. I can't imagine how anyone does it.